let's talk about custom service cases and pattern loads. This topic applies to all IES products, but we're using VisualPlate as an example to demonstrate. To work with custom service cases and pattern loads, we go to the Load Case Manager. And opening up the Load Case Manager with the Service Cases tab, we're going to select Create Service Case. Let's suppose that we want to deal with a live load that has two patterns on it. Another possible application would be snow load, where one load would be a drift case and one would be a balanced snow load case. But anyway, let's suppose then that we want to do a two-pattern live load. I'm going to change the name for the first pattern to pattern 1. Load source will be live, that's fine. The pattern ID, now this is the key to generating pattern loads. We want to have a number here that's greater than 0. So I'm going to set the pattern ID to 1. These just have to be unique ID numbers greater than 0. So now you see I have a pattern live load. I'm going to create another one. We'll call it pattern 2. And we'll set its pattern ID to 2. So now we have the two patterns created. Let's put some loads into these load cases. So I'm going to close out of the Load Case Manager, back to the Model and Load view, and I'm going to switch to the Loads ribbon, and let's draw a couple rectangular loads on our plate. In order to create the pattern loads, we're going to switch the service case to pattern 1, and let's place a rectangular load on the plate for pattern 1. We'll go to the Loads ribbon, and we'll draw in, let's suppose, a rectangular load on this part of the plate. Now, let's switch to pattern 2 in the service case combo, and we'll drop an area load over on this side of the plate. So now we have two different live loads created for two different patterns. Let's go back to the Load Case Manager now and see how these are handled. When we switch to the Load Case Combinations tab, we currently have ASCE 716 LRFD cases shown, and if we look at the combinations generated, we see that for the 1.2 dead plus 1.6 live case, we have one using dead plus 1.6 pattern 1 and one using 1.6 pattern 2. Similarly, for the 1.2 plus 0.5 live case, we're using both patterns as two distinct patterns.